road. Blood, sweat, fight. We could talk about how they really hitting that mad light. Pack a punch, bitches, free 99. Capture all my greatness, keep that thing on rewind. Sucker, you can't even lace my boots if it's space to shoot. But a guard your grill, work on dodging skills, cause the scars are real. Highlight scars and blood, let's showcase some skill. Fight heads, everything on the tape is real. And the host is Nikki and her tapes is real. Ha, you tuned in, click subscribe cause it makes sense. I welcome you to the fight heads. Yeah, I'm bound to punch, I'm trained to go, I'm down to rock, you ready to roll. Blood, sweat, fight. We can talk about how they really hitting that mad light. I'm bound to punch, I'm trained to go, I'm down to rock, are you ready to roll? Blood, sweat, fight. We can talk about how they really hitting that mad light.
Nikki and look who else I got. Coach X Combat Wrestling Traps in the house, bitches. Y'all not ready for this. I told y'all to stop playing with me. Yes, we are live. Look what we got. Bam. Boom! In your face. This young man is about to sign this contract. Live on Facebook with Miss Nikki and Fight Heads in the day. Get to it, baby. Then we're going to talk about it.
Alright, just to make this.
Johnny Panjoak and Luke Parsons met at 155, and this fight ended in round 2, 24 seconds into round 2 due to a TKO. Mr. Panjoak got the 24 second round stoppage by body shots. He doubled up on it, tripled up on it. Mr. Parsons, he tried to fight back, but that the initial one in the first round, that body shot just laid him out. He never recovered fully from the first one, and then, oh boy, he just doubled down on it. So, congratulations, Mr. Panjoak, on your first win at Bkfc. Sean Moffatt versus Nick Villar. I think we thought we were going to get a good little dust up from these two, but Mr. Moffatt was not going for any of that. He got Mr. Villar out of there, I believe, in the first round. And he did it decisively. Just TKO, round 1, 58 seconds. So congratulations to Mr. Moffatt on his win. Both men debuted. Only one can be victorious, Miss Nikki always says. So congratulations, Mr. Moffatt. Keep your eyes open for your future opponents. Chancey Wilson versus Joshua Ritchie. Chancey is a return fighter. He debuted last October. Miss Nikki did interview him against Nico Hernandez. This time he is fighting Joshua. Him and Joshua put on a nice little 5-round fight. Joshua was very aggressive in round 1 and 2, and then it just seemed like Chauncey's will just took over, and he just took over the fight. He kept Mr. Ritchie on his back foot for pretty much the rest of the fight after he got his footing in the second round and got his rhythm and his reach. And oh man, he tagged him up all kinds of ways, and even in the exchange and during the clinch, he gave him the business. And Mr. Ritchie thought that he was going to be advantageous in that clinch. Oh, Lord, no. I think he regretted it at times when he initiated it. But at the end of the day, Mr. Wilson got the unanimous decision victory from the judges over his opponent, Mr. Ritchie. So congratulations to Chancey on his first win at Bkfc. Mark Irwin versus Drake Hayfield. Mr. Hayfield and Mr. Irwin both had an idea of what they wanted to happen. I think Mr. Hayfield thought he was going to be the dominant fighter in the fight. Mr. Irwin brought his ass all the way from California. He was not having it. He was just not having it. And Mr. Hayfield calls himself Drake the Dream. Yeah, that was a dream. I bet you he wanted to wake up from very quickly once he met Mr. Irwin in that squared ring. They both got a knockdown on each other in the first round, and after that, Mr. Irwin just let it go. He let them hands go, and in round two, he was able to get out the technician who caused himself the dream in boxing um, out of there. Yes, he got him out of there. He stopped him in that second round. So congratulations to Mark the Shark Irwin on his win at Bkfc against the Dream. Yes. And that was a return fighter for Mr. Dream. Yeah, Drake was a return BKFC fighter, so we'll see what's in his future. Charles Wildman Bridges versus LJ Hamrick. Um, Mr. Hamrick is one of our return fighters. He also debuted last October. Miss Nikki did interview him. He came in thinking he was probably going to he called it. He told Sean Wheelock and Chris Lytle that he's either going to get knocked out or knock his opponent out in the first round. Either way, it was going to be a first round ending. And boy, was he right. He just didn't know which side that was going to fall on. And congratulations to his opponent, Charles Wildman Bridges, for getting that KO win over Mr. Helmer. Teresa Silgala versus Jessica Ling. The female fights. They always put on a good fight. The girls always put on a great fight. This time was no different. Both girls were a little pensive. I thought that in the first few minutes of the fight, the first round and a half, that your girl Teresa was aggressive, and then she just kind of fell back and allowed Jessica to get her range, and she was able to batter off with some jabs and some 1-2 pieces, you know. But there was a knockdown that Miss Ogata got in the first or the second round, one of the two, that was never counted. So I think maybe the judges counted that, and that's why she edged out the win against Jessica Link in this fight. Yeah, that knockdown was not counted, but it was a right hand that Jessica ran into, and she fell flat back and hit the canvas, and she jumped up real quick, but the ref didn't never count her out, didn't never give her an 8 count. So I don't think it was officially counted, but maybe the judges seen it the way it happened and gave her the nod, and that's why she edged out what was a very close fight between her and Jessica in the end in the judges' eyes. So congratulations to Charissa uh, Silgala. We'll be looking for you, young lady. This is the young lady that is vetted as being fight of the year against Taylor Sterling earlier this year at Knucklemania there at BKFC. So we'll see what's happening for her. We'll see what the end of the year rankings and tallies bring for this young lady. Congratulations. Jake Lindsay versus Eric Thompson. This is one fight that I must say, it was sad to watch. And I watched this card 3 times before I laid out this vocal for it. And damn, if this fight just was not, it was hard to watch for Miss Nikki. But, you know, it is what it is. You guys come in there and you leave it all on the line. You leave it in the ring. Mr. Thompson could never get his range in this fight. And the librarian just was not, going to stand around and give him a chance to get it. So once he got his range, he had to push him up off of him. He had to push Mr. Thompson up off of him quite a few times in order for him to be able to get his shots off. So eventually when he started to land, they affected Mr. Thompson, and he knocked him down. I think a good 3 times on top of him falling down a good 3 times. But in the end, the fight was stopped, and victory goes to Mr. Lindsay, the librarian. Congratulations. Marciano Hernandez versus Andy Locker. Mr. Hernandez is the little brother of Nico Hernandez, who also debuted last October at Bkfc 13. Miss Nikki was at this card. I got all these interviews. So his brother, Mr. Marciano, is being paired up this time. His debut against another debutee, I believe, and Mr. Andy Locker. No, Andy is a return fighter to BKFC. Yeah, this is his second time being a fighter there. So with that being said, yeah, Mr. Marciano comes from a boxing background, and of course, his brother is an Olympic boxer, Olympic bronze boxer. So we expected him to come in and have a good showing, but he also hurt his opponent, Mr. Locker, with body shots. Got his ass out of there in the first round. Mr. Locker's just gooey in the middle. Congratulations, Mr. Hernandez, on your debut win. Jay Jackson versus Isaac Doolittle. Now, this is a fight that Miss Nikki was very much looking forward to. She has met both gentlemen. Mr. Doolittle did his initiation last October on BKFC 13. Got an interview with him too against Brandon Brosshog Johnson and got the, I believe, either unanimous or split decision win. I think it was probably unanimous. But this time he's fighting Jay Action Jackson, who in his debut and last fight, him and his opponent each got a knockdown on each other, and Jay was able to get up from his knockdown and get the knockout on his opponent. And both men were looking, Jay wanted to keep him on the outside, Mr. Doolittle, and Mr. Doolittle wanted to be on the inside. And at times Doolittle was able to yoke Jay up into that clinch, and they had a good exchange in that clinch. I think Mr. Doolittle was a little probably shocked by the reaction of Jay, because he did fight back very well in that clinch. But Jay is more of a range fighter, but he waited too much. He waited way too much. He waited too much in this fight. And so it gave Mr. Doolittle a chance to be able to find his range and start to pop him, land those shots that he was looking to land, get up in the middle, get that tight overhook, and just work the clinch. I mean, he just was able to do what he wanted to. We'll see. We'll see what moves forward for both men. Both great fighters. This fight went the distance. It was an awesome fight. Yeah, very awesome fight. Congratulations to Isaac Doolittle. Yeah, we look forward to seeing this young man in the future. And Jay Action Jackson also, yes, he's definitely not going anywhere. Yeah, he gonna figure it out, and he gonna correct whatever that was, and keep it moving. Styles make fights. That's what y'all always tell me. So, congratulations, Isaac, on your win. Congratulations to you too, Jay Jackson, for such a great fight, young man. As the co-main event, you guys put on an awesome show, and thank you. Thank you very much. And a fun factoid about Mr. Doolittle, he has a bachelor's degree from KSU in biochemistry and molecular biophysics. My fighters do more than fight people. Yeah, they do. Main event, Dave Rickles versus Julian Ling. I literally had a physical orgasm watching this fight. Twice. Watching this fight. Yes, I did. I physically had an orgasm. This fight was off the chain. It was everything that I thought it was going to be. I think Mr. Rickles was able to nullify Julian for the most part. Julian had his moments in the fight. Yes, he did. He always do. But I think Mr. Rickles was able to nullify all that. He's a little bit bigger than Julian. Let me bang, I don't think he banged, but he didn't get the bang like he likes to bang. Yeah, that's because he met his match in Mr. Rickles. Yes, he did. Woo, these two went at it. That was a dust up. If you guys did not see these fights, if you haven't watched the fights, you can see the first two on the YouTube page of Bkfc. If not, go to the app, download that BKTV app, and watch these fights. You guys will not be disappointed. Mr. Rickles got the unanimous decision win over Julian in this fight at 175. That puts him at 3-0, and that puts Julian at 4-4 now. Well, no, 3-5 at bare knuckle. He's fought at other organizations, but at bare knuckle fighting championship, I think it puts him at 3-4. Like 1-2 or something. So Julian is always a willing and game opponent. He found a willing game opponent in Mr. Rickles. I think both of them was confident going into the fight and believed that each one of them had the tools and the power and the motivation to take out the other, and neither one of them would go out of there. Neither one would go out. So with that being said, we got a 5-round, 2-minute war from these gentlemen, and thank you to both of them, and congratulations to Mr. Rickles on his win.
We can talk about how they really hit
Contract is signed, y'all.
I'm bound to
This
punch.
contract
I'm
is
trained to
signed,
go.
they're turning back.
Are you
So,
ready to
do his
roll? Blood, sweat, fight. We can talk about how they really hitting that mat like pack a punch, bitches free 99. Capture all my greatness, keep that thing on rewind. Sucker, you can't even lace my boots if it's space to shoot, but a guard your grill. Work on dodging skills, cause the scars are real. I like scars and blood, let's showcase some skill. Fight heads, everything on the tape is real. And the host is Nikki and her tapes is real. Ha, you tuned in, click subscribe cause it makes sense. I welcome you to the fight heads. Yeah, I'm bound to punch, I'm trained to go, I'm down to rock.